to the next point. We should ensure whatever we see is clear.
That means work is being done. We can see that it is in opposite direction.
Hello, my learners. You are welcome to another lesson of today. I am so delighted to meet you again. I still remain your civic education teacher, Ruth Tanko Godwin. I know you are also happy to be with me today. Today we are going to take on a new topic, which is universal right of a customer or consumer. Some will say customer, some will say consumer. Universal right of a consumer. What is the meaning of this universal right of a consumer? Who is a consumer? Who is a consumer? A consumer is a person or corporate individual who purchases goods or services for immediate personal or corporate consumption. Let me take it again. A consumer is a person or corporate individual who purchases goods or services for immediate personal or corporate consumption. Every consumer needs to be sensitized to face the challenges posed by dubious producers or marketers of goods or services to be purchased. A consumer, as an end user of a good or services, has the following rights or guarantee. When we say a consumer, we mean the final person who enjoy a product of goods or services, and this final consumer uses hard-earned money to be able to get these goods or services, or to be able to purchase it, and that consumer has a certain right to enjoy so as to have value for his own money. And that is why we are taking up this topic. We want to see the rights and responsibility of this consumer whom have used his hard-earned money to be able to purchase these goods and services. And these rights can be discussed as follows. One of the rights of the consumer is the right to satisfaction of basic needs. The right to satisfaction of basic needs. What do we mean by that? This entails that those products which are essential to satisfy the basic needs of all consumers must be produced and made available at affordable prices. The consumer have the right to enjoy the services to meet his basic needs, and the product have to satisfy that consumer, and the product have to be affordable for that consumer. That is the right of the consumer. Another right of the consumer is the right to safety. The right to safety. What do we mean by that? The product must meet all prescribed and acceptable international standards for consumption so as to guarantee the safety of the end user. Recently, some automobile industries withdrew some vehicles from the market because of faulty supplemental restraint system. That is the SRS airbag. Example, Volkswagen recalled 420,000 cars on August 1st, 2015 because they felt those products cannot meet the safety measure of the customers or consumers. Many drugs have also been withdrawn due to dangerous reaction to consumers when they find out that a certain product poses health hazard or is dangerous to the consumers, such product have to be withdrawn out of the market. Sometimes it may be that it is the consumer that have cried out because they've used it and they find out that they have side effect or is dangerous to their health or does not meet their satisfaction. They can cry out and the producers have to withdraw such goods or services from the consumers so as to give them value for their money. That is the right of the consumer. We also have the right to information. The right to information. Customers must have all essential information on any product to be bought. In the case of automobile, the fuel consumption rate, the seating convenience, the lighting system, the brake efficiency, and so on and so forth must be known by a consumer. Content or composition of ingredients that make a drug or food, the weight, expiration date should be known to the consumer. My learners, you agree with me? Most especially, let me come back to what most of you always patronize, which is the food or the beverages. You'll find out that when you take it, you look at it, you'll be able, the producers have to write the content of what is packaged, the weight of it, the date of manufacture, and the date of expiration has to be there. It is your right as a consumer to have such information before you purchase any goods that you are supposed to enjoy. If those things are not spelled out, you have the right as a consumer to reject such goods. So your right to having information on any goods is not negotiable. It is your right and it has to be given to you as a customer. We have the right to choose. The right to choose. The consumer must have different brand or manufacturers of a product so as to give the consumer opportunity to take decision on which of the brand to choose from without intimidation. That is why, my learners, if you go to the shop or you go to the mall, you will find out that, for example, if you want to buy energy drink, it is your right to get variety of those energy drink. Then it is left for you to choose which one you want. If you want to buy footwear, you go to the market, you find out you have varieties, different styles, different prices, different makers, and so on and so forth. It is your right as a consumer to choose whatsoever that suits you. Just like the normal adage says, someone's meat is another man's poison. And if it is true, someone's meat is another man's poison, I as a consumer have the right to go to the market and choose the one that is my meat and leave the one that is my poison. And the one that is my poison may be the meat of another person. So it is your right as a consumer to have multiple choice, not that you will be forced to adopt or to use a particular product. So one of the rights of a consumer is choice. We'll also have the right to redress. The right to redress. What do you mean by that? A consumer must have the opportunity of seeking redress against exploitation and cheating by the producers. A consumer must be able to fight against substandard product and get justice. What do you mean by that? If you as a consumer discover that you do not have the value for your money, or what you've purchased has not given you the right satisfaction or is substandard, you have the right to redress. Where a consumer is less privileged and cannot afford legal fees, the Legal Aid Council and non-governmental organization should come to the customer's assistance. My learners, because some people are ill-informed, they will believe that if they buy any product and they find out that they are being cheated or the product is substandard, they will just say, I leave them with God. But no, that is ignorance. Some of them will say, because I do not have the money to pick up a lawyer, so let me just keep mute. We have Legal Aid Council who will give you legal services without any payment. Government have put those people in place so that they will be able to, you'll be able to have legal services when you do not have the money to afford a lawyer. So you as a customer, you have the right for redress. That is, when you find out that you've been cheated, you have the right to go and take legal action against any manufacturer of any product. For example, maybe you buy a drink or you buy a packaged food and you eat and you have food poisoning, or it is maybe expired or pose any health challenge to you. You have the right to report, to take legal action against those producers. That is your right as a consumer. Another right of the consumer is the right to consumer education. A consumer must be sensitized and educated by the agencies established by the government to do so. You have the right to be educated on your right also as a consumer. The Consumer Protection Council of Nigeria, the Department of Petroleum Resources, that is DPR, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, that is NAFDAC, Civic, Standard Organization of Nigeria, that is SON, and so on and so forth, are meant to ensure that the consumer's rights are protected through enlightenment campaign on acts enacted by the government from time to time and enforcement of standard regulations. These are agencies that government have put in place to be able to educate you on your right as a consumer, on what you are supposed to consume, and also to checkmate those bad producers so that you will not be put into any danger in trying to consume any goods. Another right of the consumer is the right to a healthy environment. A consumer must enjoy a friendly environment, not a dump site where anything goes. The consumer environment must not be polluted. It must also be a free market environment where there is no monopoly. The environment where products are produced must be healthy, accident-free, and must meet required standards. My learners, these are your rights. In as much as you are patronizing such product, you are supposed to enjoy this right of a healthy environment. Another right is the right to give value for money. The right to get value for your money. Whatever product is chosen by a consumer must meet his expectations and satisfaction. Just as I explained earlier, it is your right to get value for your money. Whatsoever you are paying for, let your satisfaction, let what you derive from that product be proportional with what you have paid, not that you will be exploited. We also have another right, is right to all good things of life. A consumer must be able to get virtually everything she or he wants to make a better living. We patronize some product so as to better our living, so or better the standard of our life. If you are to use your money and you do not have satisfaction that will be better your life, then that product is not worth obtaining or paying for. Now, my learners, you as a consumer, we've seen your right that you enjoy as a consumer, and that right should not be taken away from you in as much as you are a consumer of a particular product. But you as a consumer, you also have responsibilities to play. These rights cannot be enjoyed by you if you yourself do not take up your responsibilities. You may not be able to enjoy this right. These rights can be taken away from you either as a result of ignorance, negligence, or maybe you do not know your responsibilities. So let's look at these responsibilities that you have to play as a consumer so as to get maximum satisfaction for your money, value for your money. And that takes us to the responsibilities of consumers. There are ethical responsibilities that consumers must give back to the market to enhance value and maximum satisfaction from goods and services. And these are the responsibilities. 1, be aware. What did I say? Be aware. A customer must be aware of the quality and safety of goods and services before buying them. He must be up to date on current prices. A consumer has the responsibility to demand and keep the receipt and invoice of goods and services procured. He must be sure of the terms of warrant or guarantee granted on the goods and services. My dear learners, I explained to you that a consumer have the right for redress if he is not satisfied. Now, if he himself did not keep to the side of keeping the receipt or knowing the price or knowing the quality or knowing the guarantee, he may not be able to take up any legal action against any producer. So one of the parts to play is you have to be aware of all this and keep to it so that you will be able to go out for any legal action. The second one is think independently. Think independently. Customers must be capable of making decisions on what they need and want. Priority among the needs, the choice of brand and their preferred specification, all based on purchasing power. You should be able to know what you want, not because somebody has cajoled you into picking. For example, let me come back to the energy drink. Maybe the kind of energy drink that is good for me, that is good for my system, may not be good for you. And if I am to cajole you to take up the one that is not good for you just because you see me taking it, you see, that will make you not to have maximum satisfaction for the goods that you have purchased. So not just following the name, not just following the brand, but knowing what is good for you. Another responsibility is speak out. Speak out. I earlier explained that some, even if maybe you do not get value for your money, or you find out that what you've purchased is expired or is not to the standard, you just keep quiet and feel that, oh, I do not have money, I do not have anybody to pay for the legal services, and you keep quiet. But here, one of your responsibility is to speak out. Consumers must be very active and reject substandard goods and services which do not meet their needs. The customers can first meet the producers and later any of the government established agencies meant to protect their interests. The customers should also speak out against false claim in advertisement, noticeable defect in product and exploitation based on price and quantity size. Sometimes what is normally advertised is not what you get. You may be carried away by any advertisement and you go and purchase the goods. If you find out that that goods do not meet the specification earlier stated, you are to speak out, and with that your right as a consumer will be taken care of. We also have respect the environment. Consumers should ensure the environment is not destroyed by conscious or unconscious disposal of waste from product or goods consumed. The customer should be mindful of the level of emission of carbon monoxide from their defective generators or vehicles, which may pollute the air and turn dangerous to their health. Not because you are enjoying any goods that you will pose a threat to the health of others or pollute the environment. For example, you look at plastic bottles everywhere, plastic bags everywhere, just because the consumers of those products have finished and just throw it anyhow. You are supposed to dispose it in a way that it will not pose a threat to other consumers, to other neighboring community, and to also the environment around at large. So that is one of your responsibility. Gathering is another responsibility. Consumers have the responsibility to shop around, gather as much information as they can collect before purchasing their goods and services. Consumers must be able to compare prices, quantity and quality before making decisions. My learners, before you purchase any goods, you have to gather information about that goods. Not because you see others purchasing that product, then you go ahead. Or maybe because you are carried away by advertisement, beautiful advertisement, well arranged, well packaged, and that product may not meet your need. That product may not satisfy your need, and you just go ahead to purchase. You have to gather information about that product. What is the make of that product? What is the content of that product? Will that product meet my needs? If you do that, and at the end you make the right choice, you'll find out that you have value for your money. You'll find out that you will get maximum satisfaction when consuming that good. So that is one of your rights as a consumer, that you have to gather information. Now, in as much as you have played your part and also the consumers have played their part, government have put a beautiful policy on ground to make sure that they protect your right as a consumer. That brings us to the protection of rights. This involves government regulation which strive to protect the interests of consumers against exploitation and cheating by producers of their agents or distributors. The need for protection of consumers' rights arise from the following. This is the reason why the need arises. Need to reduce and service exorbitant prices of goods and services, so as to protect the consumers not to be exploited through prices. We also have need to ensure acceptable quality and quantity of goods and services, so that the consumers can get the right quality and quantity of the services they are paying for. Need to dispel false claim in advertisement, false credit facilities and false claims on function of goods and services, just as I explained earlier, so that you will not be carried away by advertisement and you do not get what was advertised. need to ensure healthy environment and safety of the consumers. That is why government have put these agencies in place. Need to protect consumer from harmful, dangerous and expired goods. That is why these agencies are put in place, so that the producers will not send out expired or dangerous goods to the consumers to put their life at stake. Need to ensure consumers maximum enjoyment of goods and services. All this for continued availability of goods and services for better living are essential to protection of rights. At least with all this that we've discussed and many more are the reason why government put these agencies in place to protect the rights of individuals. Why, my learners? I know by now you have understood your right as a citizen and also as a consumer. I will leave you with assignment here. My learners, these are the assignment. List and explain 4 rights of a consumer. Number 2, mention 3 rights of a consumer. Then number 3, discuss 4 needs that arise from the protection of consumers' rights. You can submit this assignment through your WhatsApp or give me a call with this number 08024040570. And for further reading, you can go through this reference, Civic Education for School and Colleges by Isaac Olaleye Olubumi, and Civic Education for Senior Secondary School by I.A. Emole. I still remain your civic education teacher, Ruth Tanko Godwin. Till I see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.